Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a makeup tutorial using the Subculture palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I'm just going to go ahead and do my eye makeup with this palette, give you guys my thoughts on it, and then once the day is coming to an end, I will check up again and show you guys the eye makeup at the end. I usually wouldn't do that, but there's been a lot of controversy and a lot of reviews, bad reviews, and some good reviews, but a lot of bad reviews on the Subculture palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's just kind of shooken up the makeup world online. Just feel like everybody should be respected, whether they like the palette or whether they do not like the palette, whether they love it or whether they hate it. Everybody deserves to be respected for their opinion on the palette. That's just my 2 cents on that. And now I'm gonna go ahead and do my makeup. I'm trying really hard to go in this being completely like not thinking about all of that, you know, but it's honestly really hard because once you hear like really good things or really bad things about something, it kind of could skew your perspective on it. I will say I did use this palette before. I want to say I used it like 2 times. One of them was a very simple eye look. It was towards the end of the day. I just wanted to take photos. I wanted to post something on the gram, so I just threw the very basic color in here, Adorn, and I put Adorn on with New Wave, and that was pretty much it. So I didn't really have many thoughts on it. And then the day before that, or the time I used it before that time, I did do kind of a very colorful look, and I did notice that one of the shadows was oxidizing on me. Edge started to oxidize when I was applying it on top of the concealer. I didn't like think much of it. I just kind of kept going. I could be a very oblivious person when it comes down to things like that. And then towards the end of the day, a friend was over, and I just, you know, when you're just like, you just don't pay attention to your makeup. That was me. That's not usually me. A lot of the times, depending the situation, I do care a lot about how I look, but I think I was home that day with friends, so I was just like, wipe. I didn't look at it. So after all of this, I am going to take my time and really look at the eyeshadow. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go for it. I'm gonna prime my eyes using the Too Faced Shadow Insurance. This is one of my favorite eyeshadow primers. And I believe the price for the palette is, I wanna say it's around $50. This was sent to me by Anastasia Beverly Hills. They did send me this along with their other, the other items that were released for this collection, their lipsticks and whatnot. I'm gonna go ahead and get the color Dawn, which is this really, I want to say skin tone nude color. It's matte, and I'm just going to get this brush. Let me get really close. I just got Dawn using the Morphe E27, and I'm just gonna apply that all over my lid. My super bold, crazy looking brows are already on, so I just went ahead and applied that all over my lid using this Morphe brush. Now with the same brush, I'm going to go in and get the color New Wave, and just New Wave and Roxy. It's a new, so that's Roxy, New Wave, and I'm tapping at it. So maybe in the other one I'll swirl it, or I'll like do a different movement. I don't know. Playing around with it, but for this one I did just kind of like tap it. I'm going in my crease. Alright, so I just went in my crease like I usually do, back and forth motions. Okay, now I'm going to go on the outer edge of my eye, and I'm going to get the color, I kind of want to do something really, not completely basic, but something in the middle today. I'm going to get the color Destiny and Fudge. I'm going to start off with Destiny, which is, I want to say like the darker green color. And I'm going to be using this brush. This is a Clover brush. I will swipe. And I'm going to apply this on the outer edge of my eye. These are like crazy pigmented. So I'm trying to focus this color more on the outer edge of my eye. I don't know if I'm going to do like a halo eye or just kind of a basic structured eyeshadow where you have the darker color on the edge and then a shimmery color in the middle or on the lid. I'm going a little bit up in my crease. This color is a little bit more difficult to blend than the other two colors in New Wave and Roxy. This one, I feel like when you try and blend it, it gets difficult. So I want a little bit more pigmentation of the green, like more on the lid. You feel me? So I'm gonna go back in to Destiny with the same brush. And I'm going to tap now on the outer edge. Like tap, move, tap, move. So on the tapping part, I'm not having any issues. I'm getting the pigmentation. When it comes down to blending it out here, I guess this is where it gets more difficult. So I'm going to get the brush that I was originally using. This is the Morphe E27. And I'm going to try and blend it out. And that seems to be helping it. And now I'm going to kind of go underneath this bottom waterline, just like towards the tip, using whatever is left over on my brush. Okay, so now I'm gonna get the color Fudge, which is the dark brown, and I'm gonna get a smaller brush. I will be using a Lexi 231, and it kind of has some burgundy on there, so I'm just taking most of it off. And I'm gonna go in with the color Fudge. Oh. I got a little bit of kickback. Like it did go in, but it didn't like make a really big dent, if that makes sense. And I'm gonna place this like right here on the outer edge. So I'm placing the color, and I hope it doesn't like dry up on me because I'm planning on going back in with a bigger brush and blending it out. Okay, so I applied Fudge all over. It does look blotchy right now. I'm hoping that it looks blotchy, I think probably because the shadow, one, and then second, the way I applied it, I'm not really blending it out. So I'm going to get a Morphe E27 and do my best to buff it out. I'm going back with the same brush that I did my crease with, just because it has all those worms left over. And I'm kind of winging it out. That helped it a little bit. I am seeing, I saw that on a lot of people the colors just kind of like blended together into one, and I do see what they're talking about because it kind of looks like that right now. The Destiny color seems to be fading away into the abyss. I'm going back in with Fudge. I'm going back in with the big brush, and it seems like I don't have anything there anymore, so I'm going to go with the color Dawn and try and buff everything out. Okay, and I did lose a little bit of pigmentation on the Destiny color, so I'm going to go back in and reapply it. On one side of the end, I'm losing pigmentation with this color. On the other side of the end, like playing devil's advocate on myself, I tell myself, well, I'm going back in and I'm blending it out. so that might have to do with it. On the other hand, I'm like, well, should it? So it is what it is. I'm now going to go in with the color either electric or adorn. Well, electric is more of a, I would say electric is more of like a topper probably. Then we have cube, which is like a pink. That's cube right there. I think cube would probably look cute. And then we have adorn, which is like kind of straight up a shimmer. I think I'm going to go with, I do want to challenge myself with this palette a little bit, because it is a palette that has so many like cool colors. You would want to really play with it. So I'm going to go in with the cube color first. Underneath it, I want to apply, I want to say All Star. I'm gonna try it out first on the back of my hand. So these do swatch like crazy. They're very, very, I don't know what to, like, I don't want to say pigmented. They are pigmented, but I don't know, like the payoff is insane. They're very in your face, saturated. I'm gonna go with the color cube now and just go on top of it. On my hand, it just gives it almost like a light pink sheen to it, which looks really cute. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that on my lid. I'm going to get, a smaller brush. I'm actually gonna get an Anastasia brush that I have here. This is their, I don't know, this one came in a palette of theirs. This is how I have my brushes. I don't really have any specific brands or anything. I just have all of my eye brushes in one place, all of my face brushes in one place. That's just how I roll with the brushes. I'm gonna get the color All Star. Let me do this on camera. Ooh, I just spoke into New Wave. I'm tapping with this one. And I'm going to go directly on my lid. I went a little high, or like more in the middle, and it did get blotchy. I'm going back and tapping into this palette and then coming back and tapping it on my eye. And I'm going up now, and I actually had a really good pigmentation with bringing it up. I will say I do feel like I lost color in my crease, so I'm going to go back in with New Wave, which is like a bright orange on the other end of this brush, and just like throw it in there. Okay, now I'm gonna do this side. Again, I just tapped into the palette. There is fallout, like right here. This palette will give you fallout. I'm not going to excuse that. I will say for myself, I usually do my eyes first, so that's not something that I'm concerned about. But it like for sure will give you fallout. Okay, so I went in my crease again, and I feel like I got the orange kind of all over, but it's cool. I'm chilling. I got my All Star color in on my lid. I brought it a little bit too far over here, but it's cool. I'm going to go back in on the outer edge of my eye and apply more of that Destiny color. The Destiny color like keeps like fading. Then again, these are two very dark colors, playing devil's advocate, that are a little bit hard to see when they're together, so I'll say that. It does kind of keep fading away. Now I have, as far as the eyes, I have that, and I mean, it doesn't look that amazing, but I don't think that's, I don't know, it's hard for me to tell if it's me or if it's the palette. I want to say that it's both. I don't know, like my palette, I'm not getting a crazy amount of on my palette, I'm not personally getting it really, there's not that much kickback on mine. There is fallout, there's not that much kickback. Again, I'll show you guys. I'm going to go in with the color Cube, and hopefully I get it nice and sparkly like I do here. I'm gonna get, I don't know if I should use a synthetic brush. I am. I'm gonna go ahead and use a synthetic brush. I usually would wet this color 100%, but I'm not, just for the sake of using the palette as it is. And I'm just gonna apply Cube on top of the purple. Oh, let me show you guys. So I'm using a Wet n Wild synthetic brush. Here I am going a little hard. Oh, this looks pretty. I actually really like the way that the putting Cube on top was like really nice. I mean, it's gonna be harder to like make it all blend with the green that I was putting, but I do like the way that Cube looks on top of All Star. So now I actually want to put electric on top of the green, just because I think it'll spice it up a little bit more. I'm going to take a brush. Oh, well, this is the same brush that I'm using, but this one has glitter on it. So I'm going to take like a flat synthetic brush. I'm cleaning it off on the back of my hand. This is just what I usually do. This is a Dose of Colors synthetic brush. This is their concealer brush. I'm going to take electric and I'm going to apply it. I'm going to apply electric everywhere where that dark green is at. So my favorite colors in this palette are actually Cube and electric. I just feel like they're really pretty toppers. Like, they're so pretty. I would even probably use them with other palettes. They're just really cute toppers in my opinion. They look really good on top of other colors. I have some Barney eyeshadow going on right now. Oh man, electric is just like, fuck, it's so pretty. I'm actually going to bring electric in more in the center and leave Cube and All Star more in the inner corner of my eye. It's just because I think electric looks really nice with like I'm wearing green today with my shirt. I basically brought electric almost all the way in. I'm really digging in here, and I am getting like I am indenting it. Okay, so that's gonna be the eyeshadow. I'm gonna go ahead and apply my eyeliner and mascara. I'll show you guys that. I'm gonna be using NYX Liquid Matte. And this side too. Okay, so at this point I will say that the mattes seem to be performing okay. I really care for electric and Cube out of this whole palette. Those are the colors that I like the most. Cube and electric, I just really like them. I'm gonna go ahead and put on my mascara, put on my lashes. I have a Sony 5100 and the camera dies on me all the time, so hopefully I'm able to do this on camera. I think so. I will say that it seems like fudge kind of like disappeared. I'm gonna have to go back in there with fudge, and I'm hoping that after I set my makeup it'll stay there. I don't really care for the mattes in this palette. I care for the Cube and electric. I really like those colors. I'm gonna go back in with fudge, and I'm gonna just apply it more on the outer edge of my eye. And it's weird, this fudge is a little bit harder to work with than the other fudges, I would say. Like I kind of see where people are saying it's hard to blend. I did go in with electric, like hardcore, after I did all of my crease colors you guys saw. Now I'm going in with the Anastasia brush and just trying to like smooth it out. And that seems to work fine. For my lashes, I probably will use some like middle range lashes, nothing too dramatic, nothing too calm. So I'm going to get this style here called Diva. This is from, alright, I'm going to go ahead and apply these. These are from a store called Klashy, Klashy with the K. And they're a small business on Instagram. They have some really pretty lashes. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this style. This is Diva. I'm using Tarte glue, by the way. I've been having a really difficult time lately applying my eyelashes. Alright, now I'm going to go over my lash line. My glue has been peeping out a lot lately. I will say I was really excited for the mattes in this palette. And now I'm really I care for the shimmers. The mattes I'm like whatever about because they're a little bit difficult. They're pretty difficult to work with. Nobody wants to work with a difficult palette, especially if it's like $50 something. You know, it should perform like $50. So that is that. I will say they are the pro. It's extremely pigmented. Cons, it's a little difficult to blend, and I would say even a little bit of inconsistency with the colors. Like I had some trouble with Fudge, but like Dawn, I mean, it's such a light color, how would you even have trouble with it? Do my face makeup and then do all of my bottom eyeshadow, because I am going to be adding some shadows down here just to work with more colors in here. I'm going to work with Adorn and probably even like Axis or Mercury. Getting Rowdy or whatever was left over the brush and going back in and really trying. I kind of went on top of Adorn. Yeah, Adorn. I just kind of like let Adorn be almost like a very non-existent shimmery shadow in here. You could still see it a little bit. And I think that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to apply some eyeliner in my waterline. I'm going to do a light color. I will be using Tarte Fake Awake. Favorite light colored eyeliner ever. The NYX one is really good too. I'm going to apply a little bit of mascara on the bottom lashes. I will be using Scuba mascara by the Balm Cosmetics. That's also what I use for my top lashes as well. So that is the eye look. I'm going to go ahead and finish up my face makeup and I will be back.
But don't take it personally, I'm surprised. I said farewell, you took it.
Alright, so my makeup is all done now. I'll go ahead and list my face products down below in the description box. So getting down to the nitty-gritty of the palette. Do I like this palette? I don't neither like it nor do I dislike it. I kind of feel very indifferent about it. To be very honest with you guys, I was super excited about the mattes because there's so many mattes in here. I feel like for the price tag, like, I can't say that I like it. I will say this, I really like Cube and Electric. That basically made my makeup. I do like the matte selection of colors in here. This is a very unique palette as far as colors go, in my opinion. Lately with everything that's been coming out, I think this is more on the unique side of the popular brand makeup palettes that have been coming out. I feel kind of indifferent about it just because of the fact that I'm not like in love with the mattes as I thought I would be. I like Cube and Electric more, so I'm kind of just like like I'm probably going to reach for it sometimes. I will say I like the Shadow Couture palette. I love that palette from Anastasia. Like, there's some palettes that I really love and I don't know if right now this is one of them. I say I don't know because the type of makeup person that I am is I could put a product in my shelf and then one day go back to it and then use that product for like 5 months. We're all very different in the way that we rotate and what we like in makeup. You know, no one likes exactly the same thing as someone else likes. So I think that's important to know, and not everybody feels the same about certain things. Like, I feel very indifferent about the palette. I don't dislike it. I don't think it's like the worst palette ever. The mattes are really, really pigmented. They're hard to blend and they could almost be blotchy. I noticed that, for example, I kind of had a hard time with Fudge and it staying on my eyes. I really hope that it stays on for the rest of the day. Even Rowdy, I feel like I applied a lot of Rowdy. I was really going underneath my brow. I was going underneath my waterline with Rowdy, and I almost feel like it's already like kind of like I could go in more and make it a little bit darker, but I already did my makeup and I'm not gonna go in more, and I'm gonna leave it like this for the rest of the day. I usually, if I notice something's going up with my eyeshadow, which is rare, I will retouch it. I'm not though, because I'm doing this review and I want to see how it looks at night. Adorn, I was really excited for Adorn, but it's pretty decent. Like it's aight. The mattes, I like Dawn, Roxy. I liked New Wave for the most part. Fudge was a little bit hard to blend. Destiny was hard to get the pigmentation there, but once I got it there, like I got it there and it was good. Fudge, once I got it there, I got it there and it was good. But Rowdy is the one that right now I'm like, please stay on for the rest of the day, which is on my bottom waterline. Would I purchase it? I don't know. I did not have this palette. If it was not sent to me, I would buy it for the sole purpose that I would want to try it out for myself, because I'm a makeup junkie hoarder like that. I still buy a lot of makeup just because I want to try things out for myself, and I'm just like I don't want to say I'm addicted to makeup, but I really like buying makeup and just trying it out for myself. Like for example, the Kylie collection, I'm like, the birthday collection, I want to try these shadows out for myself. There's a lot of pinks in there, there's a lot of browns. I want to see how they would perform. I want to see the looks that I could create. And the fact that these have really, I think this is a cool selection of colors. Even though they're not perfect in formula, they're not like the mattes aren't like mind-blowing in formula. It's a really interesting selection of colors, so that alone would make me want to buy it. If the palette was more than the price it is right now, I wouldn't buy it. If it was reaching $70 to $80, I would not buy it. You guys do 100% what you guys want to do. You guys spend your money the way that you want to spend your money. If you do not want to buy it, do not buy it. Don't buy it. You don't need anything that we YouTubers show you guys. You could recreate a look just by being inspired by it with completely different products. You do not need to use the same products we have. I get kind of like nervous when I talk about things like this, because I really don't talk about things like this on my channel, just because I try to avoid drama. I don't want to say drama, controversy, like stuff like that, as much speculation as much as possible. But you do not need to buy anything that I use if you don't want to. If you want to, thank you for trusting me, but you don't need to do it. You know what I mean? If someone does not like the palette, if someone likes the palette, everyone should be respected for their opinions on this palette. So that is basically it. I will see you guys in a few hours. I'll see you guys either here at home or laser tagging. We shall see. But thank you guys so much for watching up until this point. If you are not subscribed to my channel and you would like to be, please go ahead and subscribe. That would mean so much to me. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, you find it helpful, please give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys right now. So it is 9:55 p.m. We're just getting home from being out, and this is my makeup right now under car lighting. I'm gonna go ahead and go inside. Alright guys, so it is about to be 10 p.m. today. 9:57. I did my makeup, I want to say around 12 p.m. So it's been a pretty long time, more than 6 hours probably. I gotta say that I think my eye makeup looks good. If anything, I'm more tripping out about how oily I look. But I'm going to go ahead and get close. So this is my eye makeup right now. Some of the electric did transfer onto the inner part of my lid, like right here. But I'm actually really surprisingly happy with how the matte stayed on. Like I think the matte stayed on pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and pull a mirror real quick. If anything, I think my eyeliner looks like the shittiest, and my eyelash coming off. I got some fallout down here. It's kind of slight. I haven't touched up. I'm not even saying this trying to defend the palette. It's not that bad of a fallout. From a level of 1 to 10, I would say that my eyeshadow faded like at a 4 to 5. I'm actually really, again, surprised with the pigments, with the matte shadows. The shimmer shadows are okay. Like, I do think electric was more poppin' during the day rather than right now. But to be completely honest with you guys, like, I'm not disappointed at all. I actually, now that I'm looking at my makeup and really examining it, because I didn't really examine it the first 2 times. This is why I do like watching reviews and doing reviews sometimes, is because I think I should do them more often, because you kind of really get to like examine and look at how the makeup is wearing. And I have to say that I am pleasantly surprised. I would buy this palette for $50 price tag that it has, because I'm pretty pleasantly surprised with how the eyeshadows have lasted on my eye. I think that for $54 it's doing a pretty good job, because I've used some shadows before that don't last me very long. Probably like some Too Faced, like their holiday palettes, like holiday edition palettes from certain lines that cost like the same amount of money. Sometimes they don't last as good, if that makes sense. So I'm not mad at it. I actually think it held up pretty good. It was kind of difficult to blend. I did get a lot of fallout when I applied it. There was a bit of kickback. Probably the number one thing being that the mattes were pretty difficult to like really work with, and I think that for $54 that's not something you want to deal with. Although I will say that right now, looking at the makeup, I'm really pleasantly surprised with the pigment and how it stood on for a pretty long time. 10 hours, not bad. Alright guys, so that pretty much sums up my thoughts and my tutorial on this makeup look. It's nighttime, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please let me know down below in the comments what you guys think. Again, I know I repeated, I probably have said this plenty of times, but I think it's really important to note that I think everybody in general, I'm not just saying this for myself, I'm saying this for everyone who did a review or has thoughts on this palette, including you guys. It's just a nice shadow palette, and we need to respect everyone's opinion, whether they hate it or they love it, they dislike it or they like it. It's just a nice shadow palette at the end of the day, and nobody deserves to be mistreated for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't gotta be mean to each other for a nice shadow palette. Alright guys, that is all. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys later.